Passover, its observance and celebration, ties the Jews of today with the centuries of Jews who have gone before us.
Speaking is Cantor Abraham Wolkin, our guest for today. And if you think you have a big crowd around your Seder table, consider this. Cantor Wolkin has hundreds of people at his Seder. His festivities are conducted at Brown's Hotel, where there's always a large crowd over Passover time.
Ruth Jacobs with the Jewish Home Show, serving the Jewish community in the 80s.
Good afternoon. It's very good to see you again, Cantor Wolkin. Welcome.
Thank you.
I presume that all the chametz has been cleared out of Brown's Hotel and that you're all ready for the Seder tomorrow night.
Yes, Ruth, we certainly are. In fact, we were up till 11 o'clock at night, the steward, myself, the cook, and we really made sure it's clean. We actually searched every nook and cranny, and we brushed it in, and we burnt it, and we're ready for the Passover.
Wonderful. You know, it really amazes me when I think of the matzah balls that have to be done for the group that surrounds you on Passover. It always takes me so long to make matzah balls just for my family that I can't imagine what it would be like to make matzah balls for hundreds of plates of chicken soup.
Well, Ruth, you wouldn't believe this. It's a tremendous job, but it is a ritual. The matzah balls that we have must float. God forbid if they don't float. It is not a Seder night. And I'm so happy to say that these matzah balls are prepared in a certain way that when it comes out, it's a Seder meal. In fact, this is a ritual. It's a highlight. The Seder soup is matzah balls.
Well, I would hope so.
Well,
and they have to float.
Definitely. They must float.
I hope my family doesn't hear you, Cantor. What do you recall as a young boy about Passover in your parents' home?
A beautiful thought, Ruth, a memory which I can never forget. I remember the first thing when I used to come into the house before Pesach. It was a ritual. I used to go to the bathroom. Mama would say, "Why are you coming to the bathroom?" I couldn't wait to see the live carp floating in the water. To me, this was something out of the ordinary, a live carp in my home. And then the guests would come, and Papa would be excited, and where's my white robe, and make sure that the pillow is going to be nice and white. And I was only anxious for one thing. I could not wait for the egg and water. This was for the lame. And would you believe it, Ruth, this made me an egg salad man. I love egg salad. And that was the thought as a little boy. And the occurrence, more than anything else, was the receiving of the hazelnuts. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have a lot of nuts. I'm going to play. And this was a great thing. And later on, when I came to the shul, I was a choir boy, so I had to work. Coming home for the Seder, again, the most important thing was seeing the people around the table, my uncles and my aunts and my cousins, and there was noise and there was laughter and there was crying. I want to sit here. It was a beautiful scene. And Passover really is a happy holiday.
Oh, there's no question about it. It is certainly a family holiday.
Yes.
Well, now, I understand that you brought a album of yours along with you, and we would like to hear some of the liturgical music. Right after a message, I will ask you what you would suggest. Cantor Wolkin, what do you suggest that we listen to?
Ruth, I have chosen, I think, an appropriate song, Tain.
Pray for Rain.
Yes.
Wolkin, that was beautiful. We're going to interrupt for just a moment. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. Cantor Wolkin, how are services conducted at a large hotel such as Brown's? Is there room for all the guests at a single large Seder?
Ruth, yes. The candles are lit. The guests greet each other in the lobby. Good yontif, how are you? How's the family? It's time for shul. Let's go into the Jerry Lewis Theater Club and hear our cantor. They come into the shul, and there I am with a magnificent choir of 12, assisted by a wonderful rabbi, Rabbi Max Levy. The services begin. We daven the Marav. We again wish each other a happy holiday, and the Seders begin in the dining room. When I come to the entrance of the door, Ruth, it's a beautiful scene. There are 1,175 guests, plus invited guests. The tables are adorned with the Seder plates, covered with beautiful cloths. I am up on a dais, about 20 feet above the crowd. The choir is under me. The rabbi greets them, once again wishes them a happy holiday. Will you all rise for the Kiddush? Everyone in the entire room participates. They all look towards the dais. Each one is designated as a Kiddush. Mm-hmm. They get up, everyone rises for the Kiddush, and I begin the Kiddush.
Oh, you have the goosebumps on my arms. You really, it sounds like a beautiful scene.
It's a beautiful scene, Ruth. And moreover, the rabbi announces for the four questions, the four kashas, will you please send up the little children? Mm-hmm. Well, Passover is also a children's holiday. For the first question, we have 8. For the second question, we have 16, and so on. We designate for each night 2 on 1, so everyone is happy. The children come from all over. Montreal, from Canada, from Detroit, from all over the United States. The parents are happy, and we're happy. It's a beautiful scene, Ruth.
And I imagine, too, if these people come back year after year, that sometimes it's been a year since they've seen one another.
Yes, they do. They greet each other. Oh, how are you? Usually it's a trend. Oh, you lost weight. Oh, you didn't lose weight. Wait till after Pesach. We'll see. They greet each other, Ruth, and it's beautiful.
Do the guests participate in the Seder?
Yes, they do. The second part, after the first part is finished, and we're ready to wash our hands and partake the food, during the second course, I announced that we will now go into the community singing, where everyone joins in. And I start with songs from the Yiddish stage, from the Hebrew medleys, Lashona Habor, Rosh Hashanah, Hallelujah, all the songs that they want. And people yell out, give me belts, give me this, give me this. Well, you can't satisfy them all, but they all join in, and they take each other around. It's like a wedding, a simcha from beginning to end.
Let me just ask you a question that's a little more serious after talking about the gaiety of the holiday. Do you feel, Rabbi Wolkin, that...
Cantor Wolkin.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so taken away by this whole scene that now
yes.
I'm making you a rabbi.
Thank you.
Cantor, excuse me. Do you feel that people are more religious these days?
Ruth, I get the feeling that they observe. I don't know whether they follow through the entire year. But when they're at a holiday or the preparation for the Yontif, the lighting of the candles, the serenity of the synagogue, the shushing in the synagogue to be quiet, the observance of the kashrus, the observance of the children who go to yeshiva, I would say yes, the people are much more religious than there was years ago.
Cantor Wolkin, what would you suggest for this next selection?
Ruth, I chose Omar Rabbi Eleazar, which is in the holiday service as well as in the Haggadah.
Halva beyan men asayir
Oh, Cantor Wolkin, and that's your music, isn't it?
Yes.
Cantor Wolkin, you didn't start out to be a cantor when you were growing up, did you?
Well, Ruth, if you recall, I told you I became a cantor at a very old age of
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
So I did have to start out sometime. I started out as a choir boy in the choir of Cantor Yosler Rosenblatt, Oliver Shullem. 1 year later, I had become a cantor. He told me at that time, after we finished with services downstairs, we're getting undressed, he said to me in Yiddish, he says, "You are going to be a chazan. Keep studying and learn notes." He said, "Learn notes." And God rest his soul. I followed through, and I became
So
a
you
cantor.
you never had any other thought of being anything but a cantor?
That's right, Ruth.
Uh-huh.
Always a cantor.
Well, of course, you are a composer as well.
Yes, I am. The music is all my own. It's been arranged for me, but most of this music is my own.
Mm-hmm.
The recitatives, etc.
And you mentioned before, I don't know whether it was when we were on the air or before we were on the air, that you have sung at the Met.
Yes, 1938. I sang for 2 years in the chorus, and then I got a scholarship to return in 1960, where I sang a year. I was being prepared for the leading roles when the conductor had an accident and died. But then I was immersed, of course, in the cantorate. Took a lot of time, so I figured let me wait. But I did make a lot of friends at the Met.
Well, I think that's why I was a little confused. I had thought that originally your goal was opera.
Never. Always a cantor.
Always a cantor. Well, and a very good cantor, and I'm
Thank you.
delighted, as I said before, that you had the opportunity to come here and the time to spend with us, because we've enjoyed it very much. Thank you for being our
Thank
guest,
you very
and a
much,
happy
Ruth.
Pesach.
Thank you. You too.